the morning show with EVH. I'm Eric Von Hessler, and I'm still buttoning my shirt because I've been told by my friend, who I'll introduce to you in a moment, that it looks really ridiculous on video when my sleeves are not buttoned. I flap my arms around like Bette Midler, and the sleeves go everywhere. It looks stupid. So now I'm all buttoned in. I'm Eric Von Hessler.
Flap your sleeves around like an old Jewish woman?
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes, just for fun, when I have nothing else to do. That my friend who gave me that advice is named Autumn Fisher, and she's sitting right here.
I just took my shoes off.
We don't even know that.
Nope.
I do.
You're
Upwind.
And she's pregnant. And
Lots of
she's
stink.
not wearing a whole lot of clothes right now. You can tell she's pregnant and hot and just like miserable. It's okay. We only have an hour and a half to go. And,
Hurry up.
And you're going to be fine. Right next to her, he's not pregnant.
Well,
And-
you wouldn't know by looking at my belly sitting
But as
down.
far as we know, he doesn't have any children on this planet.
Most likely.
That would be Michael Albanese over
Go,
there.
what's up?
One of my favorite people to debate lately. He's become my my debating
Debately.
debately, my sparring partner. And Dr. X is over there. You
Dr. X.
you don't really. Do you turn your mic on, or you just like?
I keep it down in case I need to clear my throat.
Oh, you do that a lot, by the
You
way.
have pretty distinct hair too. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you can be identified like it's like a tattoo. Look at that. You got like a Cocoa Beach surf
Yeah.
wave coming in off the front of the top of your head. You middle Florida identifiable piece of shit. Sit
Don't be
down.
jealous. Don't be jealous.
he looks like he may have been in, I don't know, like Top Gun or something. I don't know. Greg Russ is not with us today.
You're dangerous. I can't do the clicky noise with my teeth.
Greg Russ is not with us today because, he's up in New York City doing whatever it is he does when he doesn't do what we do here. I don't know what he does. He shoots things with cameras, and he's doing that right now, so he will not be with us today. So if he's the only reason you ever tune in, tune out immediately. But we got a good one. We got a good one here. And just before we went on, I want to do this, Michael. Do you have that message, that Google Voice thing that you had
Oh yeah. Hold
before? Well, I'll do
Let me
mine
pull it up.
first. I'll do
There it
mine
is.
first. Do you do the Google voicemail?
I
know you do.
Well, I have Google Voice, which
Yeah,
is
that's-
like a separate phone number.
Yeah, that's mine too. And
Does it
pushes-
work for you?
It works for me in the sense if I listen to it, but
Well,
the
but if you like,
transcripts are
sometimes I'll
terrible.
make a phone call and it like my phone just decides what number to call from, and almost every time
Oh.
I pick up, somebody picks up the phone, they're like, "Who's this? Like, why do you have two numbers?"
Okay, mine is hooked into my cell phone number.
So is mine.
Okay, so I've never had a problem with it.
No,
I
but
always
you're
have a
right, because
problem with
I didn't know why I was getting texts
Yeah.
from a number that wasn't in my phone as your contact.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, it does.
Yeah.
I did work it out. Then now it knows when it does the transcript. It just has a number. But then when I go over to the app to listen to it on my phone,
See.
it's gone into my
Gotcha.
contacts and it knows who it is.
Maybe I should just call always from my app. Maybe that's what I should do.
You can. You
Okay.
can.
Maybe that's what I should do.
That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. So here's I just got this one and I haven't even listened to it. I'm guessing this is not what the person said. I'm guessing, unless they're insane. Hello, yeah, all right, bye, hey, and all. Coach or, and will, yes. Goodbye for, well, but, okay. When for, well, but, okay. When, hey. Mostly we're going to receive get people. It's basically parent.
Wow. That's a good
Wait
one.
a minute. Are you getting voicemails from teenage girls?
I believe
Hey.
My fabulous male friends at times will leave me translated.
Robots
Hey.
can perform surgery from around the world, but they cannot figure out what we're saying on the cellular.
Do you
cellular
know
phone.
why they have this available, even though they know it doesn't work?
Why?
All Google ever wants is your information. If they can identify 2 or 3 things that might be something that you'd be interested in, like I probably make a lot of, if you mention a band a lot or something like that, you're talking back and forth. If it can just capture 2 or 3 things that are real, it's more that they know about you.
How do you know
And they
that?
can capture the ads. I follow Google very closely. I'm a
But
fan.
where does it say that that's what they're capturing information?
That's what they do. That's why
No,
all.
I'm saying, where is it? Is that like a thing, like an article that was written?
No.
or-
It's well known. That's their business model.
But where is it? Like,
Google
it's not
doesn't say-
written somewhere. It's just like a thing. Oh, everyone
No,
talks
man, it's
about?
written. It's there. I mean, you can
All
go
right, I
find
need
it.
to see it.
My
I
point.
need to see it before I believe it.
My point is this: there's a reason that Google Voice is free, because the exchange is you're giving them your information. There's a reason that Gmail is free. The exchange is you're giving them keywords that are in your emails. No human being ever looks at it. It's just a computer, an algorithm, a model. But for me, for instance, I'd probably mention driving and crying in my text a lot more than anybody else does. They'll pick up on that, and they don't know that I'm I made a movie about them, they just think, oh, here's a fan. But if I mention the Beatles a lot, they'll know to target an ad for the next thing the Beatles want me to buy to me through my other Google services. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Sure, like on Facebook, right? Don't you get weird
Fucking
messages
technology,
on the side?
man. I got to tell you, watch this. I'm going to take you right. I didn't set this up. Watch this. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go find. Wait, I got to go to home.
It's like a new Bob Hope. I gotta fucking tell you.
Of course. The second I want it, I don't get it.
I thought you were gonna read me one.
What are you looking for?
I'm constantly getting bombarded by like men's underwear ads, and it's like these hunky fellas.
Well, you're talking about men's underwear an awful lot in your Google stuff, apparently. Well, no. What happened was you bought.
Of course, it's not there.
Did you buy male underwear online ever?
Mm-mm. I buy all my underwear at Marshall's
with a credit card. Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. So all comes together. Use a credit card to buy something else online.
Oh, it probably knows that I search hunky dudes in underwear.
Well,
I don't buy
Sure.
underwear.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Crazy.
I wasn't going to bring that up. So what? You told me you had a couple. You had a Google transcript or whatever.
Here's the first one. This message is for Michael Albanese. This concerns your credit score. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one.
No, that's the actual.
Those are all my voicemails. Why are they on voicemail? Because I don't pick up.
So you probably have ads toward you for check your credit score.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's more for voicemails going, hey, you owe us money. I'm like, who are you again? Let's see. What was the one? I know there was a good one.
I know it reminds me. While you're looking for that, it reminds me of I saw this ad. I see this ad all the time in daytime television. Rapid Advance, and there's a song. It's like a Broadway play. Like your business, and it's like Rapid Advance. That you get. Have you ever seen this? It's like it's like a Broadway production, and the idea is you're. Only businesses in trouble need to go to Rapid Advance to get money. But the thing is so blatant that part of the song says, Rapid Advance, they help your business grow. Rapid Advance, they didn't say no. With the line, they didn't say no in there, I'm guessing that the business is in a little bit of trouble. They're called Rapid Advance. At the very end of the commercial, a kid shows up with bags of money and goes, here's your money.
Awesome. I love this.
Did you find the voicemail?
I did.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to debate whether this is actually a mistake or not. Because this is, hi, my God, this is America from last night. I'm pretty sure somebody knows exactly who I am and what I'm after.
Did you have sex with America last night?
Hi, my God.
Somebody definitely thinks I'm
Are you the gatekeeper?
Hi, my God, this is America from last night. Returning your call. I got it from the queue. Give me a call back. Thank you.
Very beautiful.
All right.
That's
not
pretty
bad.
impressive. I'm not going to lie. It is.
It comes off as a strange sort of poetry, and I'm sure I'm not the first one to notice this. I'm sure there are websites devoted to this, but there's a sort of a haiku kind of feeling you get out of them sometimes. They make no sense, and yet sometimes they're rhythmic and poetic.
Yeah, Greg sent me a Google voice. Like he just had Surrey record him talking gobbledygook.
Oh.
And it translated it to something. I'll tell you soon. Oh no, I can't find it. But yeah, it's
great radio though.
I know. Well, we waited while Michael was searching.
But we talked about something else in the meantime.
Well, help me out. Talk about it.
I still use carrier pigeons.
Hey, you know what? They get the
all
message.
this technology.
Takes a little while, but they get the message right because it's a little piece of paper in their talons.
That's right, and you have to write it.
They just go. Do they put it in the talon? No, they probably put it around their neck. I'm sure in a teeny tiny root bar.
I think every time I've seen it in something like Game of Thrones, it's always attached to the leg. They roll it up and then they put it on the leg.
Yeah. See, here's my thing: is I've never seen Game of Thrones or anything else, and I feel stupid. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen The Sopranos. I've never seen House of Cards. I've never seen
you should pick one of them
anything
and see them.
that America. I watched the first season of Justified on Netflix. I like that, but I didn't go to the second season.
I just started watching True Detective, and
I hear it's
my God,
unbelievable.
Is that good?
Yeah, I heard something. So who else is in it besides McConaughey? Who's the other actor?
It's Woody Harrelson.
Well, yeah.
They're both.
His dad's in prison for murder. You know that about him?
Is he really?
Yeah.
Really?
Woody Harrelson's dad is. As long as you've known Woody Harrelson, his dad's been in prison for murder.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't know that about him?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's weird. Look it up. It's kind of a strange deal.
Yeah.
But those two are, they seem natural to be actors together. They have the same kind of cool range, Woody Harrelson and
Isn't
Matthew
it weird
McConaughey.
to think about Woody Harrelson from Cheers and how like he was the sweet country guy,
Wow, that's right.
And then he turned it, and then it's like dangerous. No, not what was that? Killers movie?
Oh, Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, Natural Born Killers, and how he was in that, and then
Range. It's called Range.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you never would have thought like that kind of B character from Cheers was going to be.
You didn't know he was going to blow up, but then he's
No.
kind of settled down like the last few years. I mean, now he's on this True Detective, which people are just going crazy over.
I haven't seen it.
But
yeah.
he, I mean, has he been in any big movies lately?
Yeah,
I
the
don't
Hunger
know.
Games.
Oh, is he in that? Oh, I never
Yeah.
saw that
Woody
either.
Harrelson's in everything.
Is he?
Dude, that guy's not stopped working.
I just remembered. I don't ever see anything.
Zombieland,
So.
only one of
Oh,
the
yeah, it's
greatest
Zombieland.
movies of my youth.
No,
Of your youth, that was just
that
like a
wasn't that
couple
long
years
ago.
ago.
Relax.
When I was young,
I'm still in my youth,
2009.
and you can all go fuck yourself.
My youth.
So is this up? Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Well, I thought I had it, but I don't have it anymore. But Matthew McConaughey kind of freaked everybody out because freaked a lot of people out because he went off on his love of God when he was accepting the Oscar.
Oh.
And like people are all weirded out about that. But he's a dude from Texas. He's from Texas. He's he says
What God is he talking
Southern,
about?
but
We don't know.
He's talking about the Christian God.
How do you
Flying
know?
spaghetti monster.
Yeah, could
he
be.
wasn't. He wasn't talking about that. He was letting us know that I'm super cool and I believe in God, which is cool.
Well, God bless.
But in Hollywood, that's shocking.
yeah.
If you went to the Oscars in 1962 and somebody got up there and said they believe in God, it would not be shocking. But it's like we got to a point now, and I'm an atheist saying this, it's still weird. We've got to a point where if a relatively young actor, was McConaughey about 40, if he gets up there and professes his love for God, it's like shocking.
Well, I think it
it's
has
only
to
like
do-
85% of people who live in the country.
I think it has to, he's not a black woman. I feel like
Right.
a black woman would be like, of course, she loves God.
Or an
praise God for
athlete.
black
I'm very
athlete.
blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A black athlete. It's just all black people are Christians, I guess.
You know who I judge? And it's too bad because it's wrong. When middle-aged Southern women, if they at any point say to me, "Have a blessed day,"
Aw.
I just immediately go, "You know what? You're just a zombie." And I'm probably wrong. They're
Yeah.
probably wonderful people,
know.
but there's something about the way that comes out. "Have a blessed day" that says to me, "I'm going to heaven and you're not." That's what I
Oh,
hear.
bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
no, bless
you know?
your heart is a way of saying I hate you.
Yeah. Bless your heart is get out of my face.
Yeah.
And but I don't want to
I
fight
go
about
I
it.
go two ways on that. I'll
You go two ways on a lot of things, from
Yeah,
what I
I do.
understand.
Zing.
Yeah, so if someone says that to me, I'm like, oh, you're so sweet. I love it, But then,
Thanks.
yeah, thank you. But then a doula tries to get my business, and her email address is like, Jesus is risen,
Yeah,
and
no,
at
no,
Gmail. I'm like,
no.
nope.
And the thing is, I don't, because you're going to push it on me, all right? If it's part of your signature,
Yeah, it's too
and
much.
it's too
If
much,
yeah.
and you're going to walk in my house, and you're going to push it on me.
Yeah.
Don't push it on me. I don't care who you are.
Or I assume they'll
push
push
it
it
on
on me.
Well,
I assume.
the thing is, if you're an evangelical,
Right.
you are your job,
Part of your duty.
It's part of your duty to go out there and spread the word.
Yeah.
So you
But
kind of
then,
have
like,
to.
Our
But,
friend Nicole, who's super
what?
religious.
Aren't you supposed to get her on the show?
I know. I
Church
haven't
chick?
done it.
I
know.
went
You
to the
haven't done
same
that?
Well, I
church as
talked
church
to
chick.
her.
What?
I went to the same church as church chick.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wait a
Really?
minute. That's crazy talk.
You guys would have been a good
Two
couple.
people at the same church?
Huh?
Well, shut up.
So
I talked to her on Facebook,
People
I'm gonna
remember,
ask her.
they remember Church Chick from the Regular Guys show a long time ago.
Yeah.
Mid 2000s, early 2000s.
I did a church commercial once.
All right, let's
Church's
go one
Chicken?
story.
For church,
Church's
yeah.
Chicken.
I wish.
Hold on one second. So what is the update with Church Chick? Because I wanted her to come on the say
Yeah,
hello.
I'm gonna ask her.
She
if
thinks
you
I don't
know.
like her because I don't communicate on Facebook very much. She doesn't realize I'm not good at that. You know that.
Yeah.
It's like she will write to me like, well, I guess you don't like me anymore and blah, blah, blah. And I just want to say, talk to Autumn. I'm the same way with her. But
Yeah.
she just understands it. And,
Right.
that's just the way that I am. I don't, and then somehow.
And she lives
in
so
the
far away
She lives
also.
out in the boonies. For
It's
God,
hard-
That's what
it's
she
hard.
always wanted. She
Yeah.
always wanted to be living in the boonies with a porch and
And
a
a
banjo.
banjo.
And she's got all that. And I'm happy. I'm happy for her.
Yeah, definitely.
But in the middle of the whole you don't like me anymore and you don't whatever, your wedding popped up, and I swear to God, I went to your wedding and she was there and I did not see her.
She didn't stay for the reception.
But I remember after the wedding was over, I was standing out in that
Yeah.
outer room for
Yeah.
a little while you guys came out
she
and
like
stuff.
zoomed away, maybe.
Somehow I didn't see her. So on top of her thinking I'm not getting back to her on Facebook, she thinks I snubbed her at your wedding. And
Yeah.
and when I say I didn't see you, she like rolls her eyes like, yeah, you didn't see me. But honestly, and there weren't that many people
Yeah.
there. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't
so
know either.
I want to have her on.
Let's just-
and I
yeah,
want her to know that
hopefully
I
you can-
love her.
yeah.
I do love her. I was afraid of her new husband for a little while, but I hear he's nice.
He's really sweet. Yeah. He looks intimidating.
Well, he didn't say anything to me at the wedding.
Yeah.
Which was kind of, I thought, well, I
Well,
mean,
neither
I'm
did she.
there. No, yes, she did. She
Oh,
came
she
over.
did.
She came around. She's very nice.
Oh, I thought you
And-
meant like you didn't see each other at the wedding at all.
No, I didn't miss her there. Hey, you snubbed me at my own wedding. No, it was a beautiful wedding. But, you know, he didn't say anything to me, and I thought, well, I don't know. You know, it's kind of weird. She's young. I'm older. I was a close friend. He's the husband. I would think it was, this is what I tried to explain to her on Facebook, is like, all right, look, if I was your husband and I was 30 years old or whatever, I'd be kind of weirded out about this old man who talks to you on Facebook all the time. So it's like I was really kind of backing off, kind of like a man's code, right? I mean,
Right.
she's married now. When I used to relate to her and stuff like that, she was a single girl and she'd like ask me for advice or whatever.
Yeah.
But now that you're married, you really want to find out, well, yeah, you're Facebooking that 50-year-old dude again?
I
That'd
think
be weird. I
yeah,
think.
you both had, I think, different expectations about how your friendship was supposed to change.
Well, I didn't know him. He looked like maybe he was a guy who would shoot me or something.
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
And he
you
is
know?
one of those. He is one of those guys that is, you know, tall and like stoic and isn't going to
Yeah.
speak
Didn't
to you.
speak to me at the wedding.
Right.
I thought, eh.
It's like, you know, you always think that those people like, oh, that guy's a jerk, but then you get to know him and he's so great. You know what I
Right.
mean?
He's just quiet.
Just those quiet people, but
just
you don't
quiet.
know any better, you
Right,
know.
no.
So what are you supposed to do?
I went out with a girl like that once. She was great. She was wonderful. Every time I bring her around,
Tall and stoic.
no, she was actually she was relatively tall, but she was stoic and she was a great person. And anytime I brought her around my friends, you know that thing when you have one circle of friends and you got another circle of friends, and you know everybody in both circles is cool, but something wrong happens when you try to mix them. So when she's this great person, funny, everything. And whenever I get her around my other friends, she would just clam up. She wouldn't say a word. And after over, it's like, well, what a bitch you got for a girlfriend. What's this all about? Well, she's too good for us. But really,
Right.
she was kind of shy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's kind of, I don't know. She was kind of shy.
Maybe he's
and that's
kinda
how
shy.
she came off. So,
Yeah.
no, but she told me that he laughed when he heard that.
Yeah.
So,
Let's just have it all be water under the bridge.
it is. I never, you know, I know how it is.
Sure.
You know, I don't call anybody. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible friend in that way. I'm a great friend when you really need me. I mean, I'm a great friend. I'm there. I'm right there in the crisis moments of people's lives. I'm the firefighter who heads toward the fire, goes toward the building. But the daily thing of being a friend and calling and getting back with you or responding to emails and things like that, I am terrible. I'm terrible. I'm terrible with my own family. I'm terrible with my closest friends. I hate telephone calls. I hate talking on the phone. My mom's 80. She lives in Rochester, New York. I have to make myself call. It's like, as much as I hate talking on the phone to anybody, I love my mom dearly.
Right.
But she's hard of hearing. I'm already bad on the phone. I got a bad cell. I'm screaming. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I just want to be able, I want there to be like a rocket that I can get on and go visit her
Right.
from noon to 3 and then get on the rocket and come back here. So I know it's me. That's what I was trying to get across to Church Chick. Everybody gets pissed off with me at some point in our friendship about this because I'm like that. My wife and my 2 children, I will always answer the phone every single time they call. That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I look down. Autumn, am I in the mood? I'll call her back.
We went through it already, though.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to.
Well, now that we're
fucking
working
answer that
together,
phone.
you did. You said, look, if I'm working
Yeah.
for you and I'm trying to get stuff done and I'm doing stuff for the website,
Yeah.
you've got it. And how have I been since then?
You've been great.
Okay, I put
Yeah.
you in that. I put you in that list
Thank
of people.
you.
So now it's my wife, my 2 sons, and you.
Yes.
Dr. X ain't never getting in there.
No, I know that. I know that.
Michael Albanese. I don't know.
I know if I call after 8 p.m., you assume you've got to come pick me up from somewhere.
Right, exactly. Is he in jail again? Doesn't he have close members of his family that can bail him out this time?
No.
I'm not even having money anymore. You know, your ex-boyfriend doesn't call me anymore because I'm not there to lend him money anymore. So,
Oh, I was like, which one?
you know, the guy I lent money and then he told me, never mind. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
It's a whole other thing.
That's a whole can of worms.
Guy owes
Can
me
of
like
worms.
$6,000. I'll never see it. Lent him money once. Let's call this guy Mr. Y. Lent him was probably, if you put it all together at this point, was in for about $5,500 to me over the years. Mm-hmm. And then doesn't pay me back, doesn't think about it, and then shows up with a new smartphone and a new laptop. I mean, that's really shoving it in your face, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, that's beyond. Mr. Y, get it together. What were you guys looking at about meals or last meals or something? You've been talking about this for the last couple of days.
Yeah, I
and-
stumbled across this. I found this one of these, links that you kind of wormhole through Facebook, and I thought it was pretty interesting. There's a photographer named Henry Hargraves, and he recreated what is like a photographic recreation of last meals.
Okay, last meals.
Famous last meals.
Famous last meals.
People that died in jail, they were executed.
Executed.
And this is their request.
So when
for
you
last
request
meals.
a last meal, which I think
Correct.
almost does every state still do this? There's no law that says you have to, but there's some sort of thing.
Yeah, but I don't think that there's a thing that says they can't.
Hey, you murdered a whole family, but look, what do you want to eat?
So we'll start. We're gonna talk about the people and what they did, and then I'm gonna have you guess what you think their last meal might have been. How
Okay.
about that? Play a
All
little
right,
game.
a
with
little
it.
game. We'll call it the Executioner's Song.
Let's start with a really good one. Real fun guy, Timothy McVeigh.
Okay.
Do you remember Timothy McVeigh?
I do
Oklahoma City
remember,
bombing?
absolutely. A horrible, horrible human being.
Exactly.
Knew that knew that, by the way, before we get to his last meal, knew there was a daycare center right there on that first floor.
Right.
And he's mad at the government. He's mad at the government, and he's going to kill, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds. I mean, just
Yeah, it's crazy.
just a heinous human being. Glad he's dead.
Yeah,
What did he eat before he
absolutely.
went?
Well, he was convicted on 168 counts of murder.
Mm-hmm.
He was 33 years old, which is pretty fucking young.
I remember. Well, he just come back from Iraq.
Died of he was a Gulf War veteran actually. Died of lethal injection. And can you see my computer from here?
No, you know what? You don't know.
It's
me.
okay if you do.
I'm so honest
seems
that I
so.
wouldn't look even if I.
How do I know you're not lying right now?
Sincerity.
What would you guess? Do you have any clues?
His last meal.
And
he was a borderline white supremacist. He wasn't all the way white supremacist, but he was dabbling in those militias. Those guys like a good goulash and a stew, I think.
goulash.
You gotta ask for whatever takes the longest to cook. So a nice pot roast.
Oh yeah, you get a crock pot going.
I need it flown in from Mars.
Yes.
No,
way.
really, lobster has to be from Maine. And you're not going
Right.
to kill me until I get that lobster from Maine.
I think he had
You
like
can
a
see it.
see
You
what?
can see my screen?
I
Don't.
can't.
Okay.
I can see a
Don't
spoon.
don't
That's all I
look.
can see.
Don't look
He had a
down here.
spoon.
Yeah, he
My
had a
guess is he had a
spoon.
spoon.
He had a spoon.
Okay, we know it's like ice cream or something.
Your
spoon.
You are. I'll give you that.
I
It was
see
ice
what
cream.
I deduce
cream?
you.
It was ice cream.
I was gonna say I think he had like a spa meal. You know what I mean? Like one of those lighter meals.
2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Oh, I love mint chocolate chip.
Two
ice
Right?
cream.
pints.
You and Timothy McVeigh are like
2
besties.
pints.
Besties. That's a
Boy,
lot.
he must have stunk it up when he went, huh?
Right?
2
Ooh.
pints of move.
Dairy. Just dairy. Blah.
Just dairy pouring out of this miserable dead body.
Good.
When they put those guys down, is it by chance that they look like they're being crucified? When they put them down on those, when they do the lethal injection,
They have to strap their arms
they have to strap their arms down, right? And then I'm judging by the Dead Man Walking movie, right? So as the
Green Mile?
galleries, Dead Man Walking,
Oh.
Sean Penn.
Oh, right.
So
right.
in order for he has his last words to the people behind the glass, and I don't know if this is just for movies or if it's real, but they elevated it up like he's almost standing, and his arms are out.
Oh, I don't think they.
And he looks like
elevate
he's
it.
being crucified.
Yeah,
It was like a
that's for
total
movie.
martyr thing.
Yeah,
You think they made that up for the movies?
I do.
Possibility.
Why would they need to do that? Why would they?
Well,
need
because
to
you
say
are
them
allowed
up?
to have last words to the people, and there are people there.
Yeah, but you can say those last
It's a
words.
gallery. What an audience member to be. That's a ticket. I want to. Even if I hate you, I don't want to see that.
I know. It's
You know?
the family members, right? Of the
I don't wanna
of
see
the
that.
people that they've killed. They want to see that guy
Hey,
die.
I'm sure that it happened. I wouldn't think the state was lying to me and they scurried him out of there, and now he's living on in Bermuda somewhere.
That's an interesting piece of context for this next one.
Hold on, wait, Dr. Esco.
I was just gonna say I'm looking at the tables online right now, and that is how they do it.
Oh.
the
Really?
arms will flap out.
Yeah.
in total crucifix.
Yeah,
no, but are they
but do they
standing up?
stand it up like that, like in Dead Man Walking?
There's
Doesn't
no
look
way.
like that. No,
Alright.
I don't see any of that.
It's a movie, Eric.
I know. I'm asking the question. I don't know.
No.
But
Speaking about
Yes.
coming back
thankfully,
and
that's
watching,
all I know it from. Yes.
the next one we're going to bring up, Ricky Ray Rector. Do you remember this guy?
No.
Was he
sounds
the
like a-
the anal killer?
No.
He killed people anally. I
Ricky
think.
Ray Rectum.
rectally? He sounds like a
No.
music producer.
No,
or something.
that guy did achy breaky heart. Anyway, go ahead.
Ricky Ray was I wish
Ricky Ray
I
Rectum,
wish.
achy breaky heart, right? 1989
I wish he would be
or
executed.
something.
Ricky Ray Rector was executed in 1981 for the murder of a police officer in Conway, Arkansas. He agreed to turn himself in, but instead he got shot in the back when a police officer who was negotiating a surrender. He turned himself in for killing a man
Right.
at a nightclub. And then as he was going to go do it, he shot the cop that he was going to surrender to.
He had second thoughts.
in the back,
Oh.
killing the cop, and then tried to kill himself, turned the gun, but instead of killing himself, he shot himself in the head, gave himself basically a lobotomy.
Okay, so he's
And then they tried to step in. His attorneys tried to say, they shouldn't kill him because now he's like mentally retarded.
right.
And then
Which
they
I
said,
would
"No,
which I would say to that
we're
is
killing him."
if he became mentally retarded after he killed
Right.
the two guys, we could still kill him. If he was
But-
mentally retarded before he killed
Right.
the two guys, maybe.
And despite his mental state, they still killed him. And the Arkansas's governor of the time, future president Bill Clinton,
Oh, you know
went
what?
back to Arkansas during
To
his
sign-
presidential campaign
yes.
to watch it happen.
I remember this.
Whoa.
I remember this. This was a big deal in the Democratic primary because, but Clinton was so smart back then. The reason that Democrats hadn't won the White House since Carter, and Carter was a brief blip between Republican presidents since I think Kennedy, was because they were seen as too liberal on issues like this. So it was a big deal for this Democrat who was leading the primary to go back to Arkansas and say, yes, you can kill this guy.
Yeah.
So I remember Ricky Ray Rectum very well.
Rector.
Rector. Now here's a guy who doesn't have a brain. So
I
was
think,
was he able to request his last
Yeah,
meal?
absolutely.
I'm
What? Jesus.
I'm making fun of a murderer.
I
It's
know.
fine. He shot himself in the head. It was a self lobotomy.
Absolutely.
He's open. It's not too soon.
Applesauce.
Applesauce.
No. What did he say?
Applesauce.
Took
So
him
you
10
got-
I
days
feel
to
like
kill
it
the
would be
guy.
like this, like just applesauce. I want meatloaf.
Mana.
What do you think it is? What do you think his last meal?
Mana. What
Ooh,
did he say?
mana.
Took 10 days to kill the guy. He couldn't understand what the hell he was ordering.
We have to give him his last meal. We got to
Did
figure
he
it
say he
out.
wants mullah? What's mullah? So he was able to request his meal.
Yes.
And he was deranged, like he had a lobotomy. He was retarded. They
Yeah,
said
I mean,
that he was
yeah.
mildly retarded. I am going to guess that what year was this? Was like
81.
81. 81? No.
No,
91.
wait, no.
Clinton was
91.
running,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I think 81 is when he committed the
Okay.
murder.
I'm gonna say that a mildly retarded Arkansasian would be.
Or,
I know, I'm
or
just-
just
I'm
an
s-
Arkansasian.
I'm exactly. I don't want to overdo it. I think Skittles are involved somewhere. In
Ooh.
this.
You're not that far off for one of the items.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
And I'm gonna think cheeseburger, Coke, Skittles.
Awesome.
Nope.
What is it?
But the Skittles part, he did request cherry Kool-Aid, which is a child drink.
Oh, all right.
Pretty decent meal. Steak, fried chicken, cherry Kool-Aid, and a pecan pie.
Wait,
Slice
you
of
got
pecan
steak
pie.
and fried chicken?
Now, here's a nice note of contention. While he might have been mildly retarded, he still had a sense of humor because he left his pecan pie, and the guard asked why, and he replied, "I'm saving it for later."
Smart man.
Do you think that he was
Funny
joking,
man.
or he just thought maybe I'd get?
I'm
to eat that
coming
later?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're bringing me back.
Aw.
He thought
feel
he was
bad
going to be
for
a
him now.
he was a
I can.
the
Oh, you feel
Terminator.
bad for him? He murdered 2 people.
Yeah, I
You feel
know.
bad for them?
No, I feel. Well,
They
yeah.
didn't get a last meal.
I know, that's true.
See?
That would be
That's
an
what pisses
argument
me
against.
off. That's what pisses me off about these things. Like you see these stories where it takes 15, 20 years to actually get a guy to death row, right? And in between, he educates himself, and they're like, he's a law scholar now, and he's whatever he killed. I say, well, what about the guy that he killed? Maybe he would have bettered his life. He didn't have the opportunity to become a lawyer. It doesn't matter what you do in prison or how many books you read. That doesn't take away the idea that you brutally murdered people. I remember when Bush was running in the first primary, the Republican primary, he had a kind of a situation develop where a lady had become a born-again Christian and a preacher in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And so people on the right, because she was evangelical and because they liked her, were trying to get this Republican governor to stop her execution because she's more than rehabbed. She's saving souls now. And I'm reading this and whatever. And Bush got into a little bit of trouble because he was riding with a reporter at one point. And the reporter brought it up, and Bush turned to him and goes, "Oh, don't kill me, because I'm." and I thought, and the reason was, then I went and looked at it. She killed, I think, 2 people with a pickaxe to the back of the head.
They deserved
I
it.
don't care how many Bibles you spread around. You can't wipe that away. That's something you're going to have to talk to the Lord about when you get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did kill a couple people with a pickaxe, but she's cool now. Let's not kill her. Screw her. Kill her with a pickaxe.
Is it eye for an eye? You believe in eye for
I
an
don't
eye?
believe in it. It's not practical, but I
Yeah.
mean, emotionally, sure. I think you should suffer. I mean, I don't know. I don't get off on people suffering, but
Yeah.
I don't think that you should a last meal is just something like a cigarette before the firing squad. It's like protocol, but it's not in law anywhere. It's not part. It's just something that people have always done.
It's like a mercy, like a little bit of mercy.
This is my thing. If I'm going to throw in mercy, I'm going to throw in some lottery stuff. Okay, so you kill everybody by hanging, but you use the same rope. And if you're lucky enough that the rope breaks when you're on it, you walk free.
It's like a board game or something.
Exactly. You might get the rope at the right time.
Yeah.
So what? Anything? You got one more?
Well, I got a couple more. Some interesting ones. We could do a few if you'd like. How many more you want?
Let's do 2 more.
2 more. Okay. Let's go with some ones people we know then. Let's go with Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy, who, as I recall, was he out of Florida or California? Was it Florida? Where was he? He was killing.
Florida or Germany?
He was in Florida.
He was killing college girls, right?
He's a serial rapist, murderer.
Yeah.
Necrophiliac. He assaulted and murdered women in the late 70s.
Was he the one that was the good-looking one?
Compared to other serial killers.
The one that like defended himself in court, that guy?
I don't know, but the really good-looking was the Capricorn, the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, he was highly regarded as handsome, charismatic.
And
that's how he was able to lure women.
That's right. He went into the dorm, the girls' dorm, right?
Yeah,
that was him.
Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
Killed a bunch of girls.
Like you would trust him because he would come to the door and be like, "Hey, I need help in my car," and come on in because you're handsome.
Yeah, but you know what? Once the word's out, there's a serial killer going around killing girls in college.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd trust anybody
Those
if I was a
girls
girl
aren't
in
paying attention.
college.
Maybe they weren't paying attention.
It's like once the son of Sam got his 4th or 5th victim, like, what are you doing out after 10? I mean, I hate to be an idiot, but there's a madman running around killing people randomly.
I had to walk home from work.
So Ted Bundy.
Ted
Bundy. It took a long time to kill Ted Bundy. I think it was like 10 years or so he was around before they.
I thought you were talking about a long time. Like it was like 7-8 minutes it was taking to kill this guy.
Forever.
Guy struggled. So Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Electric chair.
The good old days. That was in Florida too. You remember that thing, Old Sparky? Remember that story?
Oh, right.
There was somewhere in Florida they were using this chair, and 2 or 3 guys got lit on fire.
Yeah.
And they called it Old Sparky. And I saw one picture of a guy, and his nipple was on fire. He's sitting in a chair because they put the water on your head and everything to make everything go.
Yeah.
And which has to be one of the most terrifying. The thing about the lethal injection. You walk in there, you know you're going to die, but if you've ever had an operation before,
right,
it's going to be relatively peaceful. It's not going to be completely, there's a little pain and you can't move, but
like
that's
burns
over
or something
quick.
People
it
talk
burns
about.
and then you're dead. But I mean, the electric chair, there's that whole thing where they dip the sponge in the water and then they put the thing
Seems
on
like
your head.
torture a little bit.
This is really going to hurt. I'm going to be zapped.
I have a boner.
Oh, yeah. So Old Sparky, I remember the guy's, his nipple lit on fire and his head lit on fire. And that's when the lethal injection thing really kind of started taking off.
Let's see. What did he have? I think he had a slice of carrot cake.
Really?
And he had a spice rubbed pot roast.
Yeah.
I'm going with tofurkey, and nobody's going to knock me off of that. He's a good-looking guy. He was healthy. I'm going to say something healthy. I'm going to say a Cobb salad.
Ooh.
Ted Bundy declined any special meal, and according to this jail, he was given the traditional last meal for those who decline, which is a medium rare steak, a couple eggs, some hash browns, toast with butter, jelly,
being a Waffle
glass
House.
of milk, glass of juice. Yeah, it looks like a steak and eggs meal.
I want that real bad.
Steak and eggs. Yeah.
Well, all you got to do is kill people, and you
all
can
right,
have it.
awesome.
Or you could just go to the store. I don't know if you knew that.
Too simple. Too simple. Come on.
Who's gonna make it?
Don't you enjoy a challenge? Give me one more.
All right, one more. Let's go with John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, this guy was horrific.
That's the
awful.
clown guy, right?
Yeah, he dressed up like a
killer clown.
Killed kids. It was just awful.
At least 33 teenage boys and young men between 72 and 78 Chicago.
5 buckets of KFC.
He was a fat dude.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He also used to work at a K. He was a manager of a KFC.
Yes.
So you're getting close.
Okay,
I get points for that.
Okay, she says she's close. He didn't say you're right on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she's right. Maybe she's wrong. Maybe there's more
I'm
to it.
just assuming the guy was loyal. Wouldn't go for churches or Bojangles. I mean, if he's going to have fried chicken, you'd think that he would.
Or maybe he got sick of it. He's like, oh, I'm so sick of KFC.
Yeah.
I got to go kill another kid, get my mind off of this thing.
Yeah.
Although I have to say that people always say that you get sick of stuff like, well, if you deliver pizzas.
Yeah.
I did deliver pizzas for 3 years. I would still like pizza.
Yeah. When I worked at Mellow Mushroom, I did not get sick of that pizza.
Oh, I remember when you worked there.
Yeah.
You were like one of those groovy hippie waitresses.
I was an awesome waitress, y'all.
I'm going to say that you said she was close. Chicken fried steak.
Ooh, that's a great one.
Well, Autumn was right. She was nailed on the head, but there was more. Bucket of original recipe KFC.
Wow.
Why is that so funny?
I just found it hilarious.
12
They had to bring a bucket of
12 fried shrimp, French fries, and a pound of strawberries.
a pound of strawberries.
Come on, look. If it's your last meal, I'm putting everything I can possibly put in my mouth immediately. What do I got? I'm gonna wear my cholesterol.
Right.
Yeah, but you might feel sick after, right?
Not for
You
long.
also might feel dead.
Not
Not
for
for long.
long.
Yeah, that's true. Please, maybe that's the
Gives you
point.
something else to think
Hopefully,
about.
hopefully that means I puke all of it back up
Yeah.
on people.
Maybe
I just want
that's
oatmeal and
Can I get some
slop.
Pepsi AC before you strap me down?
No,
Yeah,
it's like
really.
you stuff yourself so much that you're so full and miserable. You're like, just kill me. Just do
kill
it.
me already.
I want out of this
Put
misery.
me out of this now.
That's the key.
Yeah, he was the manager of 3 KFC restaurants
Oh,
before
dang.
he was
He was a
convicted.
regional manager of some sort.
Well, which is incredible because like I've had really shitty bosses. Could you
Yeah.
imagine if John Wayne Gacy was? Look, man, I'm not coming in. You're not coming in. I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Your butt. Eric just fell out.
Did he have? He didn't sexually on top. Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, he
So-
raped
oh.
and murdered 33
Boys.
counts of rape and murder of boys.
That makes
young
it. It's
men.
always like what's his face from Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer, who ate those gay kids,
Yeah.
and
Is
you
he
know.
one that had the organs in his freezer when they
Yeah.
found him?
And
So-
they found him and everything, and one of the people he ate was a close friend of Kevin Kinney's when he was growing up. Strangely,
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
it's in the movie.
I don't remember that.
But I always thought, you know, so he picks these kids up because he's gay and they're gay, right? And they're thinking we're going to go to his house and we're just
Sure.
going to have a hookup, right?
Yeah.
And at some point, I think it had to occur to them maybe that I wanted to be inside of a man tonight, but I didn't think it was going to happen this way as they're being digested.
Jesus.
That was a damn good joke.
Are you sure you want him to come on the at the improv sometime?
Absolutely.
Hey,
Are you
ladies
kidding
and
me?
gentlemen,
I'm trying to sell tickets up in this bitch.
I got more Dahmer jokes.
That's right. I
And
got Dahmer
that-
humor for days.
I got that drummer joke from the other show.
That's
so
right.
I mean, I'm ready to go.
Ready. That's it.
I like it.
Thank you. Good night.
So there it is, famous last meals. Maybe we'll do that as a regular segment.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty more. For more news on this and more fucking rapists, could check us out at suckmydick.org. Sorry, I don't know why I'm so angry.
I like the fact that it's .org. You go and suck my dick, but you throw
yeah,
the
it's not an
.org on it.
organization. It's an organ. Shoot
You
me.
did it again.
Is on fire.
He's a comedian, you guys.
Don't say that.
No, if you notice
That's
that.
the hackiest, stupid shit anybody could say ever.
I know that you're completely unprepared, Autumn, but I'm going to do a Patreon thing here, and then
Yeah, I
I'm
am a little bit
going to
unprepared.
swing that spotlight to you, and I'm going to expect you to spit stories back at me, because that's what we do here. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We can't follow a food piece with a food piece. Now you know that.
I don't
Michael.
do radio.
You ever do a radio? It's fun if it's not plugged in. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who is part of our family and who's invested in us and has become a member of this team by going to patreon.com, looking up for Eric Vaughn Radio, finding that page, finding those different levels of support that you can be a part of this team in, and all the different things that are coming. T-shirts, bumper stickers. Michael, I put it in your hands.
Yes.
They're on their way.
I'm waiting on quotes, man. I'm waiting on other people.
Been waiting on quotes for 3 days. Let's get a goddamn quote now.
I'm gonna start raping people
No,
after
I don't want that.
after my KFC shift.
Not that badly. Not that badly. I just, somewhere between here and there. That's where
We'll
want
figure it out.
Somewhere in the middle. We got T-shirts and bumper stickers at the $100 a month level, which is insane. But I think we have 7 people. They're members of the board.
Thank you
They're
so much.
really part of the show. Thank you. Also, at any level from $10 up, you end up on our Wall of Fame, which we have to update. We're doing shows out of place now, so I don't know what the names are. We have to update that, and the credits at the end of the show will run. And your name will be on those credits. If we get 5,000 people, we'll run 5 songs, and every show will tell who is helping us. So, and you're helping yourself because you hate the way the radio is now. $10 a month or a little bit more, you can help be part of the answer. Patreon.com, Eric Vaughn Radio. Look us up. EricVaughnRadio.com is the hub for everything. There's an Amazon.com banner down there. You might have to turn off your ad blocker just once to see it. Click through it, bookmark it, and then buy all of your Amazon stuff through that bookmark, and no sweat off your back. We get a kickback from everything that you buy. That's another way to help. A third way to help.
No cheese off my tits.
It's
It's not even a real thing.
It's no cheese off my dick. And as I'm grossing people out while asking for money.
Sorry.
Also, another thing to do is brag about us. You got social media. You got the Facebook, the Twitters, the whatever. Copy and paste our link, ericvonradio.com. Let people know that you love this show and they should listen too. Go to iTunes, subscribe, download. You know, there's so many ways. Autumn.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on in this world that we should talk about?
So many things.
Where's that stinger?
You kind of sprung it on him.
No, I'm trying to, make the show flow. I think he just likes this music. He wants to wait till the end. Can we put them right together on the thing, probably?
These things, the levels are so different.
Okay. I apologize.
There you are, Autumn.
Thanks. So we all know about Bitcoin.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Right?
Bitcoin's in trouble.
Bitcoin's in trouble. The bank Flexcoin said on Tuesday that it was closing down after it lost $600,000 to hackers.
Which was everything that they had.
Yeah.
And some people had some private accounts that weren't made public, but basically they had every public Bitcoin stolen from them.
Right.
And this is after the other one, Mt. Gox, went bankrupt for the same reason. Hackers,
Yeah, they stole, I guess, 850,000 Bitcoins.
And I think people weren't thinking about this. The Bitcoin scheme seems so sort of impervious to any sort of regulation or any way to manipulate it. But since it is digital, we all should have seen that hackers are going to figure out a way to get in there, and then that's the new bank robber, right? You get in there and you steal. This stuff is worth millions of dollars. Everybody who bought Bitcoins with this particular exchange just lost everything they ever had.
Yeah.
But so I don't. And the last I looked, and we're kind of recording a little bit out of place, so I don't know where Bitcoin will be when people see this. But it was down to it was still up to like $550 at the time of this recording. It had been as high as over $1,000.
Right.
But it still surprises me that it's still up there in the 500 range after these stories. It seems to me like the whole damn thing is collapsing. If it's that easy,
How do you steal online money though? They were hacked.
They were hacked.
But what's so wait? It says they were closing down. It sounds like I don't know. This sounds a little fishy to me. This sounds
they
like
lost
they stole their own Bitcoins.
Well, no,
They're going to get their insurance money and then they're going to sell it on the free market. That
here's
sounds
the
like
thing.
a really good idea.
Well, here's the thing. It turns out that now there are a lot of people who are on the case. They're basically trying to find money. They're trying to find out because there is a digital signature to this stuff. So it's not like it's neutral. So much like if I go to the Louvre and I steal the Mona Lisa, I got the Mona Lisa and that's worth a lot of money. But the minute I try to sell the Mona Lisa, everyone's going to know that I'm the guy who stole the Mona Lisa and it's going to get out. Apparently, every one of these Bitcoins have a digital signature of some kind, so you should be able to trace where any Bitcoin comes from. So on one hand, you've got people who are sort of anti-hackers who are hacking their way around the web trying to find this stuff, trying to get like a gold rush type of thing, trying to find money. And you've got other people who are saying, well, look, you've got the Bitcoins, but as soon as you try to spend them or use them in some way, we're going to be able to track it back.
It's like Goodfellas. Take it back.
Yeah, exactly. So but then again, the way hackers are, they may not necessarily be doing it for the money. They may understand this. They just like anarchy, and they like to get in there and destroy systems. And if it's true that these things can't be made safe, boy, it only took about a year after popularity for us to find out that it's this easy to collapse.
It's just like the Old West, if there was a bank robbery in your Old West town, the
was
government's
all the
not
money.
giving. Yeah, you're not getting that money back.
Right. And
so these are like the growing pains of having to do this.
But the beauty of this is that they don't want regulation. They don't want an FDIC. They don't want to be backed up by anything because
they don't want regulation.
Well, the concept was that they didn't like every central bank in the world of major countries, including ours, prints their own money and manipulates the currency to their own ends. This was supposed to be a currency that could not be manipulated. There was a finite number of Bitcoins that were ever going to be made, and it took a lot of energy to mine them. So yeah, you can be getting money, but how much is your electric bill? And there was all these kind of stops to keep this stuff happening. Also, every new Bitcoin that was mined, the algorithm became exponentially more difficult. And so they had all that worked out, but no contingency for this, for things just a hacker just getting in there and so we've got two major exchanges wiped out. And I just heard one of these CEOs for another exchange probably just killed herself.
Right.
I just saw a story, which means, and she's a young woman who was a CEO.
Autumn Ratke.
Yeah, what was the company? Which exchange? She was just found dead, 28 years old. Now, why does that happen? Because she knows she knows that within 48 hours, the world's going to find out that she's about to do a lot of jail time. That's why people kill themselves at 28 in a situation like this. You're looking at your life and going, there's no way not to go to jail. And I'm a 28-year-old woman.
What is she going to jail for?
If she did not, for something that we're going to find out is what I'm guessing, because she's involved as a CEO of a Bitcoin exchange. All these things are going down. Somebody's going to be held responsible for this. It might just be guilt.
It was first meta virtual currency exchange.
And are they in any trouble that they've reported yet?
No suspicious activity yet.
Maybe she was just
probably.
Maybe she lost all of her money.
Maybe she's just depressed.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, maybe it has nothing to do with Bitcoin.
It's a possibility.
I don't know.
It's a possibility. But she's 28. She's the CEO of a high-flying industry. She seemed to have her act together. People can get depressed and clinical and all that. It's fine. But I just... I think we're going to find out that either she had a bunch of money in these other exchanges, or she felt that she was responsible for something. We're going to find out.
If I had if this was my money that was just gone, I would feel like I would want someone to be responsible for that money. But really, it's me. I mean, I go
market.
in. Yeah, it's free. I went in knowing that it wasn't backed.
That it wasn't regulated.
Yeah,
so it's an investment. It's like, who are you going to blame? You can't blame anybody.
Right. Well, but I mean, if you invest
in your computer, you son of a bitch.
But if you invest,
screaming at your computer like an old lady.
But if your bank goes down, you are backed by the FDIC
But
for up to $100,000. Right. That's what I'm saying. I agree. I'm a libertarian on this. But an awful lot of people were millionaires on paper for 2 minutes here, and it all just came crashing back down to earth.
There's no free lunch.
No. Nope. There is not. Unless you go to a place called Free Lunch. Or if you're homeless and you go to Peachtree and Pine.
Free lunch is a trash can on the street. That's free lunch right there.
Never been to Peachtree and Pine?
Yeah.
Well, they pass out the sandwiches at noon, I think.
Oh, but that's not free. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Well, you have to live on the streets to get it, so that's not free.
Yeah, that's true.
And we left that theater last week. Great, it was wonderful and everything, but that bridge where it's all lit up at night, where all the homeless people are sleeping. I'm not exposed to that very often in my older age.
The bridge.
There's a bridge that's lit.
Where?
Right, real close to. I don't want to say the name of the theater because I don't want to push.
Oh, you're talking about?
Yeah,
you're talking about the Krog Tunnel.
Is that it?
No,
where's all the graffiti?
But he didn't go down.
No,
the
this was
Krog.
nowhere near that.
This was a well-lit bridge. That's why so many homeless people were sleeping there, because it's you're not in the dark. I think so. It's very well lit, and there are homeless people all over the place. And I just thought there has to be mental illness going on here. I would find a place to stay.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's all. I'm
homeless,
saying.
Yeah, a lot of homeless.
There's
people
a
have
rat hole. I
mental
didn't mean to go down there. There's one of those things that I noticed too. I don't go into the city often.
You know what happens with those homeless people is that they don't have
They
somewhere
poop all over the place.
Yeah, they don't have somewhere to pee.
Yeah. Oh no, and then you're like in a parking garage or something, going through the stairwell.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden
smells
it's like,
urine.
woo, it's human poo. Where did that come from?
You know what they should do is go to this site called Airbnb. Segway.
Segway was incredible. Great job.
I did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the queen of the Segway, Autumn Fisher.
So, have you heard of this Airbnb?
I am going to be using that when I go to DC.
Explain what that
trip.
is for old people like me.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's basically like if you have an extra room or an empty apartment, or if you're going out of town, you can put your place or your room or your couch on this service online, and then you set a price, and then people can rent your room or your couch for X number of days for a certain amount of time, and then you rate people, both the people that are renting you and the renters. And then, so that's how they regulate it.
It's become a little bit of a hookup thing too.
It's also become a problem in New York because it's a 1% vacancy rate in New York, and people are using what they would normally rent to now go Airbnb because there's no the taxes on there. It's unregulated, so they're trying to get rid of it in New York right now because so many people are holding on to apartments that they would normally rent out for Airbnb because people can circ the hotel system.
Because God forbid people use their cleverness to actually be inventive. That's wrong.
Yeah, we used it when we went to New York, and we used it in Spain, and it was wonderful.
Now, I couldn't do that probably because if the people were still there, like if somebody had their,
well, it depends on what
there.
you're doing. If you're a family, obviously you don't want to do that. But me, when I'm going to DC, I think I'm just renting a room.
Right.
It's like $30 or $40
but if you walk
a night.
No, I know the money. You can't beat it.
And then like all the reviews, like, oh my God, these people are awesome. Everything's clean.
They'll leave you alone if you want.
Yeah, exactly. And or I can go get stay at the Marriott for $190 a night.
It makes a lot of sense.
I could do it for $100 for the entire week.
It's like an international hostel kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just the middleman between me putting on Facebook, hey, anyone I know who live in DC want to help me out? And then somebody says yes, that's the destination.
I know a lot of people have used it, and I know, but I read an article about how there's this bunch of like frat type guys who use it to get laid. There's a lot of it's become a big hookup thing.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sure some people. I don't know.
I remember one thing one guy said was that French women won't touch an American in France, but when they come to America, he's like, in 2 minutes flat. Like they come to America, they're easy. I'm just telling you what I read. I don't even judge me by it.
I'm not judging you. I'm judging them.
So what's Airbnb though? This
sounds
Airbnb
really
awesome.
Is instead of renting out an apartment or a couch, like you said, it's private bathrooms. So, for example,
Mardi Gras.
Yeah, Mardi Gras. Yeah, if you need a,
you get a lot of trouble if you pee on the streets in the French Quarter. A lot of trouble.
And I mean, I've been out on the streets like after a parade, like in Little Five Points, and I had to pee so badly, and then you just have to like sneak into a bar, and the lines take forever, and everyone's trying to use it. So, this Airbnb lets you find private bathrooms wherever you are, and I guess
you're willing to pay $5 then, right, for a clean bathroom?
Oh, please! I would totally do that. It's it can cost as much as $5 per visit.
Now, is P&P for pee and poop? Because I don't want to follow somebody. I'm not going to pay $5 to follow after Albanese walks out of there. I'm telling you.
Relax.
Yeah, I'm
you
not
get
sure
my point. You get my point. Like, I would be looking just for. Is this just for whizzing? Because I'm okay with following somebody with the whiz.
Maybe it's like porta potty.
Yeah, it's probably it's whatever.
I'm not sure, but yeah, I love this idea. I love it.
I'd pay $5. I've been in situations where I pay $5.
I'm going to put this app on my phone.
I'm looking at St. Andrews area in New Orleans.
Right.
That's where the most concentration is there. The Evangeline Bar, $5 unlimited peas all day.
Oh, right. Unlimited.
Put a little bracelet on you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Or you can go right down the street for the Avenue Pub, and 1 drink minimum. You can pee.
Buy
a drink, get a pee.
Yes.
Now, can you only pee once for every time you drink? Because then they're kind of like
I think it's just assuming you're a customer.
Right.
You can pee. Tacos and beer down the street. Get a drink or food and a wristband for the bathroom.
But see, a lot of people who live in the French Quarter, because it's even a bathroom like that, I guess that people are paying a lot, but you could still end up in a line.
Here's a good one.
That's true.
The Pontchartrain Hotel. I can't read.
But Pontchartrain.
Pontchartrain. Tom Cruise, Nicolas Cage, Frank Sinatra, and Walt Disney have peed here. You can too.
Wow.
I'm looking at the national map of all the locations.
Fucking genius.
29 of them are in New Orleans.
Well, that's because Mardi Gras just happened.
Right, so. But there's none anywhere else. The closest one is Austin, Texas. There's one there.
Why? And that'll pick up. Why?
Well,
because as South by Southwest gets going, that'll pick up.
Yeah, there's one in Pittsburgh. There's a couple, 4 in New York.
I'll start one tonight for our bathroom.
Well, you know what? When they do a Piedmont thing,
heck yes. Yeah, like for Music Midtown or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you kind of have to trek all the way up to our house.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're not really close enough. And
but
also, they usually have a lot of porta potties in that.
Oh, they did not have nearly enough last year.
Oh, really?
It was half an hour to an hour wait all day.
And because it rained so much, they were like flooded in front of it, so you didn't know if it's like, is it mud? Is it from the porta potties? It probably wasn't from the porta potties, but I can imagine feeling like gross. It's too close to that toilet.
Shouldn't they have this worked out mathematically? If you have this many people in the park, you need this many porta potties to have a
Well, they didn't know where all of them were.
Well,
there were a lot, but they were hidden, and people only went to specific ones because they were closest to like where they were standing.
Right.
And,
Look, if it's raining out, just do what I do and pee yourself.
Yeah, I know.
I think
I'm not above that.
Yeah,
and just don't be below that either.
Hey, but seriously, folks, I gotta fucking tell you.
You know what else makes you have to go to the bathroom?
Drinking?
Coffee.
Okay. Oh, is this a seg?
It's a seg.
I smell a seg. We should get her a Segway that she could ride around on because she's Miss Seg.
Oh, that would be so. I've never ridden on a Segway.
Yeah, you fall the first
they
3 or 4
so
times.
Neat. I know. I would never wear that helmet. Don't put that helmet on me. I'm not wearing that helmet.
Well, then you're not getting on my Segway because you're an
I'll sign a
insurance
waiver.
problem. And you're an insurance problem. Sign a waiver.
So, Keurig, the Nazi company.
Hello. They make the K-Cups.
Yeah, they make the K-Cups. So
revolutionized coffee in this country.
That's true.
You have a good cup of coffee just making one cup.
They all taste the same.
Oh, it does not.
So they are regulating their K-Cups so that, their Keurig machines to only be able to fit the K cup. You can't get an off-brand.
Yeah, how are they gonna? I read
There's no way they can stop reverse engineering.
No,
way.
No, I guess the new ones.
They're going to add technology. There's going to be some sort of
like a
bar chip, something, whatever, and it has to see that before. Yeah, I think people are right now. Well, the patent's gone, by the way. That's why there's so many competitors. They had the patent for 12 years or
You mean
however
the
long.
pods? They had the patent on the pods?
The patent on everything, I think, is gone now. Because
Okay.
it's that Green Mountain Valley company. They're the
Uh-huh.
ones who own Keurig. They're the ones who invented the whole thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they can't control it anymore.
Stifle the market. That'll
So
be
now
genius,
but
guys.
it's not going to work.
It's for the machine.
Like
yeah,
you
they're,
said,
they're gonna.
people will go to something else, and they should what they don't like is people are undercutting them because they're overcharging for their K-cups.
Right.
They're just going to have to compete and bring the prices down and give you some sort
Well,
of
they're not
weird
going to do that, I guess.
lifestyle reason.
They're going to take. I think that they're going to try and take out of the market, right, the
Right.
old Keurig machines,
Right.
and they have a Keurig 2.0
right.
that can only interact with the Green Mountain approved pods.
So why would I just keep my Keurig that I bought a
Yeah,
couple
and
of
use
years
all
ago?
the aftermarket stuff.
Yeah.
Or not
Yeah, I mean, they're
aftermarket,
still going to be selling them. Like, what do I need the new
Yeah,
one for? You want the
exactly.
new one? You want to go spend the money? Go spend
What
the
they're
money.
hoping is 5 years from now that whole thing is turned over. But I
Right.
can't imagine that people just won't come up with the L cup, and just have the next thing and just have no. Ours is open. It's like
Yeah.
the difference between Apple and Android. One's closed and one's open, and both sell and both have markets, but I just don't think that they have enough of a corner on the good coffee to be able to pull this off. Somebody else can be able to put good coffee in a cheaper thing. It's going to work just like this one does now without the chip or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to fail. This
Like
is
you
the
said, I
problem.
mean-
People, they should innovate. They need to do something else now.
I think, like you said, they're playing the long game, right?
Yeah,
they're thinking
like-
about way in the future when you can't get those old Keurig machines
Right,
anymore.
right.
The only option at the Bed Bath & Beyond
Right.
is the 2.0
Yeah.
Keurig, and you have to buy their cups.
But the point, I think,
Or their
I think
pods.
the patent is gone with the machine too. So a rival
Yeah, but if you
company
had
can
tried
just
like a Black & Decker version, those are always, those are always shit. Nobody wants that garbage.
a Tandy company makes a. I bought mine at Radio Shack. God, I'm getting sick.
oh yeah,
It's happening. It's happening. It's happening
Sick of
as
your
we speak.
shit.
Well, I hope you don't die
Give me here comes a seg.
because if you were
If I do, I'll get very scared about it. I'm sure I'll be very paranoid.
oh no, well you know
Does
what
that
can
leave you-
help you with that
What would that be?
is some LSD. It turns out
Is it back?
LSD therapy.
LSD's back.
They've been giving it to some patients. A very small study. So I don't know who's giving them this LSD or who these people are. Just like 12 patients have
Right.
been given or have terminal diagnoses and are given LSD, and their anxiety is being lowered about their
Their stress
potential
levels
death.
about their death. So these
Right.
are all chronic cases.
Yes, they're like for sure gonna die.
But they're going to live for a year or two or something. But they're definitely going to die.
I guess so,
And
yeah.
so they have to deal with that the whole time.
Right.
It's been so long since I have messed around with that stuff. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember whether but I did have a bad trip once.
Sure.
And if that happened when I knew I was going to die, I don't know what I would do.
I'm sure they're not giving them this LSD and they're like, well, see ya. I'm sure they're like talking
No,
them
and it's
through
a very
it.
soft thing
yeah,
and whatever.
Yeah.
I was at it was in Rochester, New York, where I'm from. They do the 4th of July fireworks down by the river, down by the riverside, and it's a big deal, And this one year, so we dropped in the afternoon, and we go down there. So there's people everywhere, and the local rock radio station was synchronizing their music to the fireworks.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I was already feeling kind of weird, right? So I lay
Has
down.
nothing to do with all the drugs.
No. I'm all drugged out. I'm
Yeah.
peaking. I'm peaking at this point. And
You
and
are
then
you are slipping through the center of Jupiter, my friend.
it's like a scene from Apocalypse Now, where like the fireworks go and then the guitars go like bang, ding. So I'm already like really electrified and weirded out. And then the rain, it kind of starts to rain a little. You feel the wind blowing, is gusting up, and the fireworks stop. So it's like this freak out moment where people don't know what's going on. Then the rain starts hitting, and then the word starts, the fireworks are canceled because of rain or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I stand up, I turn around, and I'm walking through the crowd, and everyone in the crowd looks to me as if they're 20 feet tall, and they're just looking down at me with really dumb looks on their faces, like
love it.
as I'm walking through. Then the rain starts hitting me, but it hits me like one drop at a time and drips like molasses. So I'm being hit in the rain in the face like this by each drop.
Sounds like you were experiencing exactly exactly what Frank Zappa wanted you to experience when listening to his albums.
And so it's like really weird. But you know the thing about me, I've had a
snowman in my shoes. What?
That was and I was with my sister and her boyfriend at the time. And the one thing about it, though, one thing I know about it
Name dropper.
is that I never, you hear these stories about people on LSD and they get crazy and they jump off a building as they can fly. I don't think that would ever happen.
Like
that would never happen to me because even in this whole situation, as weird as things were, there was this core center in me. And literally, I got in the car, when we finally got to the car, I curled up in the back seat. And my sister looked back at me and I just gave her a look in my eyes that said, there's a me deep inside of here that understands what's going on right now, but I cannot communicate with you. And I'm just and it was terrible, man. I got home. I tried to lay down on the bed. That was uncomfortable. Went to the other side. It was uncomfortable. Everything was uncomfortable. Then the phone rang, and my mother was leaving a message. I'm like, oh, she knows.
Oh,
it
sure.
was horrible. So if I had a trip like that and knew I was going to die within the next 12 months, it would be bad.
Well, it looks like these patients were given the full dose. Like some of them were given a full dose of LSD, and some were given like a lesser dose. And then while they were tripping, they talked about their emotions about dying and like had to face a lot of their fears and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think after that, because I guess your
In
mind
a good way, if you're having a good trip, you can put everything into perspective
Yeah.
and kind of sit on
But
high.
I'm saying I think that they are. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that if you're on a good trip, the idea of the physical world seems very blasé to you and not all that important. And so I
Right.
can understand if you're having a good trip, you're like, well, I'm going to float away and everything's going to be fine and I understand the world and all this,
Yeah.
Life is not as something that you would cling to so much if you're having a good trip.
Or they
like
were
the one I had on a golf course where we danced around a sand trap and pretended it was a volcano. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's fun.
So mist everywhere. It was fantastic. There was mist between two trees. Remember that episode of Star Trek where they ran through that thing and they were on the
Nobody
other side?
remembers that.
Everybody ran through it.
I do remember
It's okay.
that
I
episode.
bore Michael with all my
Really?
stories.
Yeah.
Eric
I
Von
guess I'm the only
Hessler.
one that's ever not watched
I'm
Star,
my
whatever that
father's
is.
daughter.
This is gonna be our new. It's when they went back to Earth, right? They're like they were like in the '60s or something.
Yeah.
They went through that thing. Yeah, we all pretended we were going through that thing.
Do that thing.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
My new signature on my email is going to be Eric Von Hessler, boring Michael Albanese for over 5 months.
Since every minute of the day. No, I don't know. I feel like I'm the asshole because I never watched Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like
Doesn't
that.
make you an asshole.
I mean, you're the only one that says that.
Well, why don't? Have you tried it? You just don't like it?
I don't know. I just never.
The
got
first
into
Star Wars
fantasy
movie
thing.
is unbelievable.
The
I've
first
seen
one?
it probably, but I couldn't I can't quote shit.
Yeah, I mean
know.
Episode 4, not the first one. The first one's from '77.
Star
What do you wanna call it?
Wars.
Star Wars.
You said Star Trek, I think.
Well, why don't you shut up?
Well, I was trying to think, like, what's the first Star Trek? What was that one? Was that
would
a
be,
good one?
Well, of course, that would be the pilot that was then cobbled together.
The movie? A movie?
No. You don't know about the beginning of Star Trek? Star Trek
I'm
started
talking
with
about the movie. I
Star
thought you
Trek
were
started
saying
with a different cast, and the guy that was playing the lead captain or whatever, Pike. He was Captain Pike.
Oh.
He
No, I
had
don't know
played
this.
Jesus in a movie, I think. He was terrible,
Oh.
and the episode was terrible. So what they did is now the first episode is that Captain Pike is on trial, and he's in a box, and Shatner's a part of it and everything. But there's a pilot with Captain Pike that was apparently just awful.
I don't
And
know
so-
this. I didn't know this
yeah,
trivia.
so, well, I know a lot about the Star Treks and the Star Wars. You just ask me any question you want, I'll answer those
I know
questions.
nothing.
I ain't got nothing
Well, you
about
didn't like
that.
any of it? None of the movies? None of nothing?
It's not that I don't like them. I just never got into them. It's
Yeah.
like certain bands. It's like I don't. All right, I'm sure they're good.
Yeah.
but I'm not here saying they're bad. I just never watched Star Wars. Never watched Star Trek.
I'm like that with like Carlos Santana. I'm like, great guitarist.
I
Never
also-
really had much interest.
I never really watched
Highly
movies
overrated.
though.
You think he's highly overrated as a
yes,
guitarist?
Totally.
he's way overrated.
You don't think
All he does is goes and recruits Grammy-winning artists, and then wins more Grammys, but he
Because-
slaps his name on it.
Okay, but I'll give you that. That's the way he's made money in the modern era. But as a pure guitarist,
No,
really,
Not
because I
that.
haven't paid enough attention. I'm Woodstock.
as a hack
It's
guitar player, I can just tell you that most of his riffs are easily copied.
Really?
Yes.
I'll be darned. Dr. X says no to Carlos Santana.
Plus, he was a jerk at Turner Field a few
Oh, he
years
was
ago.
a douche where he yelled at everybody from Georgia because of the immigration policy.
Yeah.
Hey, we're
Shame on you.
glad we invited you to come down. What was he going to sing? What did he sing? Did he
Who cares? He
Was he
doesn't
the si-
sing. That's the thing.
Oh,
he doesn't
sing.
sing.
Well, he was probably
just
playing
plays
guitar
Give
next
me
to.
your heart, make it real. Oh, forget about it.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Who sings Black
Give him
Magic
drum
Woman?
chops.
Somebody's stupid.
I don't even know who was in the band who sang
Another
then, but he had a
black
hit
magic
in like
woman.
1980 called "I'm Winning,
Boom, boom, boom.
I'm Winning." You know that song?
No.
I'm winning. I don't know who that singer was. Santana has a hit in every decade,
Yeah.
at least one.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to compare him and Eddie Van Halen's going to be a better guitar player than.
Which one's a bigger dick, though? That's hard. That's hard to figure out.
That's true.
Which one is pissed off and fired more band members?
That's funny.
Maybe guitarists are douches.
Didn't he
it
lose
turns
his? Didn't he lose his tongue or whatever?
out. Who? Eddie?
Eddie Van Halen did
No,
tongue
that's
cancer.
Eddie Van. I thought you said
Yeah, Eddie Van Halen had tongue
He
cancer.
lost a portion of his tongue.
So-
He's
but he
not
can speak.
tongueless. Yeah, he can still
Like,
sing
if you see
harmonies,
him-
too. He can still nail those
Like
harmonies.
if I say you're great, he's not gonna go dun dun.
I don't think it's that bad.
Okay, good, good.
Like, thank you. Maybe just a little bit.
But I
Like
mean,
that.
he kicked out every lead singer.
They're back again.
His
They're
wife
on the
hated
same
him.
tour
Oh,
now.
they're all old. And they need
The only
money.
one that's not back is Michael Anthony. He's the only
Right.
one that's not touring with them now. Now they're like splitting the tour between the two frontmen, and then
Are they doing that
the
again?
Red Rocker with
They
the
are.
Sammy
When are they gonna
Hagar?
not do that? What are they gonna do?
Wait.
Sammy Hagar.
He's just-
Ugh.
I mean, Sammy Hagar's got his shit together. He's got Cabo. And
Yeah, he's a smart businessman.
Yeah.
But
You
after
didn't like him?
Montrose, his first band, loved Montrose. You familiar with them?
Nope.
Get on your bad motor scooter and ride.
Oh, that
Great.
sounds awful.
Oh, no. They were a big biker band. They're a great band. Ronnie Montrose was the guitarist. Sammy Hagar, young, mid-70s. Love it.
That's pretty
You can't
old.
call a bike a motor scooter and call yourself a biker band.
Motor
Well,
scooter.
that was kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke, Dr. X. It wasn't like, look at my motor scooter.
I
It
didn't
was
get
kind
it.
of a.
It's
But
code
they
for
were a
his
good live
dick.
band. Good live band. Their album, it's called Montrose, the first one. Check it out. Rock. Something. Is it
I
Rock
prefer
Candy?
chicken feet. Shut up.
I haven't heard. That's the one with Hagar and Michael Anthony. Or
No, that's with. It's Hagar. It's all.
So
a bunch
it's
of
like all the
dummies.
fired guys.
Satriani.
Satriani, good
He's
guy.
all the songs he has left that Coldplay hasn't stolen.
Joe Satriani's a good guy.
Great.
You met him?
I think I love Surfing with Aliens. Get out of here. It's a life changer.
Style kind of. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but he's a hell of a nice guy. Kind of does that what I call guitar center jamming. That scaling stuff that's kind of annoying.
How's it go?
But I love
We
it. He's a
got it.
great guy, though. He is a great guy, and I don't want to go after him. He's a great guy. Do we have
I don't care about
one more, maybe? Or are you tapped out?
I can wing it.
No, that's all right. Give me one more. And then
I can
we'll,
give
well,
you
then
a-
I know you want to do foods and stuff. So.
Did you have that food sounder?
Food?
Yeah, you want to send that? To
That was it. Food.
yeah, food.
I have a really obvious story. Angry people are at risk for heart attacks.
They actually pay.
Breaking news.
They pay for these studies. That's amazing to me.
I mean, I guess there is a little bit of information. It turns out 2 hours after an angry outburst, your risk of heart attack increases 5-fold, and the risk of stroke is more than 3-fold. And it's also worse for people who have a history of heart disease and all
Right.
of this. In
And
their
anger.
family.
You got a
And
history of
angry.
heart disease
Yeah.
and anger. Can I tell you that I felt this?
Yeah.
I was somebody who I never hit my kids. I've never slapped my wife. I've never been violent in physical ways like that. But I was prone to the outburst.
Sure.
Like I could let my 16-year-old not as much, but my 29-year-old can tell you stories of me just letting it go and just really having outburst of anger. And I got to a certain age, somewhere in there about 43 or 44, and I could feel it. Like it became to a point where I thought, I think I just lost a year off the end of my life. You know, like that had a physical component to it that was dangerous, I think. And that, amongst other reasons, made me just totally kind of chill out and cool out. And my kids have a different life now because I don't get angry like that anymore. I never was a person who held anger or held a grudge or anything like
Right.
that, but I was an explosive person, lightning flash.
Do you think it
and
has to
boom,
do-
and then get it out,
You know, like when you get older, you mellow out a little bit.
Well-
you have less circulating testosterone.
Man.
I think it's some of it. I think some of that is because you feel that. I mean, as I got
Yeah.
older, it was like, it's like climbing a hill is a little more taxing than it is when you're 25. Screaming and hollering for 5 minutes is way
Oh,
more
yeah.
taxing. And so I'm a nicer guy now, basically because I'm lazy. Laziness is not always a bad thing.
I I had a boyfriend that would throw things and get crazy when he was
I was
mad.
like that.
And so it rubbed off on me a little bit. I tried it. Like I tried it out in the car, like threw something or and
It
it
sounds
just
exactly like my life.
yeah.
Just strange outbursts of anger for no reason.
first
I
time-
tried it, but then afterward I didn't feel better. I cried after because I was like yeah. It was,
The first time I had to pay for something that I broke, I just immediately was like, "Oh, this is dumb."
Yeah, this is not a
Yeah.
good idea. Right. That's a good point. Once you feel that there are the consequences. I mean, once I looked around my house and I put a hole in that wall. Like
That's
I said, I never went after
terrible, yeah.
people. I was never physical with people, my children or anybody else. But I would get it out by punching a hole in the wall or something like that.
but that's scary.
But after a while, you got like 2 holes on the wall and your door is broken, and you're like, this is getting a little much.
And to me, I feel like, I mean, no one's ever been violent with me, thank
Right.
goodness, but I feel like that's just as scary. Is someone
Sure.
like freaking out and punching a hole in the wall?
Right.
I'm just as scared as if I think you're going to hit me.
That's where
you
your
know?
face was gonna be.
Yeah, I guess
No,
so.
I would.
you know?
I would usually walk away. So like they'd be downstairs, and I would be just get it out. It wouldn't be like I was in front of the person
Yeah.
usually.
But they know it's happening.
I
It
did
still
have an
freaked
argument
me
with my
out.
roommates once back in the '80s, and then just turned around and just we just moved into this really cool apartment together, and I didn't know how thin the walls were. Honestly, I had no idea. I turned around to punch the wall, and my fist goes through it like a newspaper. I mean, it was like, boom. And so we started laughing. We put a poster over it for the next 2 years.
Oh, that's nice.
This is the best.
It turned into a funny
posters out
story.
there.
It turned into a funny story. So
Remember that
yeah.
time I almost killed you with my fist? Ah.
I guess on the other hand, if you hold it in, like I always thought, if you go ahead and have the outburst, you get it out. It's good for you in a way. But you know,
It's
so
the
there's
way you
either
get
way.
it
But
out.
if you hold it in, now I don't hold it in. I just don't have that angry thing anymore. I don't have that thing in me. I think that I looked at it myself and I thought it really comes because I like to boil things down to the fundamentals, you know. And it's like, what is all this anger? And I realized
Exactly.
it was a form of being a control freak. Like, you're not doing exactly things the way I think you should. Therefore, I'm getting. And once I like backed off and thought to myself, live and let live, man. People are going to let you down. I used to say this to my old radio partner all the time. If you're easily annoyed, you're going to be annoyed a lot. You
Yeah.
know? And like you kind of set yourself up for that if you have a hair trigger and now suddenly you're annoyed with other people. And once I realized that, and plus the aging process and everything, I just thought this is just stupid. You know, you're only gonna be alive for a little while, and screaming and hollering is dumb. You should save it for when you really need it. Like, move out of the way. You're gonna get hit by that car or
Yeah,
something. You know,
yeah,
when
yeah.
you really
When it's
need to,
important.
you know, or yell at that kid before he falls off the side of the roof. Falls
Yeah.
off the roof, whatever. Do you have to leave us? I know that you.
I can stay-
Can we
I
do
can
the
stick
thing?
around for the
Okay,
thing, yeah.
all right.
We're
Let's
gonna wrap up news.
That was our news. If you want
not
some
call
of
it
the
news. Let's
that,
call it
that was
stories.
our that well that were that
I don't know.
that-
I'm sorry, I screwed you up there. Hit the sounder again. We'll talk about it another time. Hit the sounder again. She was on a roll.
That's okay. That was not the news.
That was
Yeah, those were our stories that we talked about today.
Thing and-
If
No, hit the sounder
Oh,
again. Say
Jesus.
news. Go ahead. Hit the sounder again. Go ahead.
that was the news. If you want more of the news, you can find us at ericvonradio.com. You can find everything there. Go check it out.
Jesus, a lot of I haven't been this angry since I was 44.
Oh my God,
I'll
don't
explode
punch the wall.
on you. All right, now you guys have these. You started this whole thing last week or
We're
something.
gonna try a new bit.
It's not a bit. It's not
not
a
a
bit.
bit, a
We
new
have no
thing.
bits,
All
Mike.
right,
It's a
no
new
bits.
thing.
It's
It's
a
not
new
the
thing.
news.
It's an
not the
excuse
news.
to
It's not
eat
the news,
on air.
Michael.
You guys.
And we even have a little sounder for it.
Oh, your food thing.
It's time for flavor of the week. We eat, then we critique. It's time for flavor of the week. We eat, then we critique.
It's time for flavor of the week. We eat, then we critique.
I need some acid right
tastes
now.
so good.
Yay!
I didn't
Who
know.
made that beautiful sounder?
Mannheim
Some weird
steamroller.
fella.
All right, so we have some. What is this called, Eric? You called it something.
By the way,
funny, I
what a second. Hold
Oh,
a
I'm
second.
sorry,
What,
I'm
what
sorry.
were the lyrics to that again, in case people didn't get the?
This segment is called Flavor of the Week, and
Yeah.
we eat, then we critique.
I can't
Very
read
good.
this.
We
What
eat
is
them.
this?
Now,
we
see, this is
critique-
like the onomatopoeia or whatever. Onomatopoeia. I don't eat that stuff. I don't like the amanani.
What's he saying? What word is he saying, you guys?
Amanami?
You're not saying anything. as
I'm
far as
saying
I
the
know.
is it Anamani?
Edamame.
Edamame?
Yeah.
You
Watch
child.
your mouth. I don't like the Anamami.
They
Well-
don't serve it at Chick-fil-A. I ain't eating it.
There you go. Now we're starting to see eye to eye.
Yep. So it's this Chinese delicious.
I'm gonna try to chew
garlic-
away from because there's nothing more fun than eating
Yeah.
right now, but I don't want to chew it on.
They're good. They're
You
like
really- it's
gonna try
they're
it?
green peas, aren't they? What are
they're
they?
like they're little peas, and they have a garlic flavor on them. I don't think they taste
More
like
of this
garlic.
noise.
Where did you
Good.
get these?
From the Chinese market.
Why
grocery
are you at
store.
the Chinese market? I went
Because
to the
my
Chinese,
students
on
gave 'em
Buford?
to me.
On Buford Highway?
No,
you ever
it
been
was
there?
no, I haven't, but
Oh
I'd like
dear!
to go.
Oh God! I almost got sick to my stomach.
Oh,
All
you
the
don't like
weird
the smells.
weird stuff. And then can I tell you something else that happened?
What?
Before you down that?
I don't know if I like these.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
they're
have a
amazing,
camera on
aren't
him?
they? They taste like peanuts. Sort
Make
of.
sure the camera's on you
These
before
are
you do
amazing.
that.
Oh yeah, it was on.
Yeah.
Oh, these are like Oh shit, these are good.
Yeah, aren't they good?
Yeah, man.
Everybody likes them.
I can't get them open. So, anyways, let me tell you about those at the Chinese market. And I'll tell you why I got sick. There was these weird food smells that I wasn't used to, and so they have the fish swimming around in
yeah.
the tank, right? And I'm standing there, and the person points to the fish they want. You've never seen death happen so fast. Okay, the fish is swimming around. The guy puts his hand in there. He takes a 2x4, whacks it over the head, guts it, puts it in the bag, and the lady's walking out within 30 seconds
That's
of the
fresh.
thing swimming
the way you want it.
around.
That's fresh.
Yes.
Right there.
That just freaked me out. I'd never seen death happen that quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing, the spirit of that thing must have still been around
Yeah.
somewhere as it was being walked out in the bag.
Here, do you want to? This I opened it.
And I just thought, these people are just inhumane.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want
There's-
to. I like green peas, so.
Try them.
This
This
not
reminds
edamame?
me of
Open
something.
mind. Have an open mind.
It's not
Cannot put my
edamame?
finger on it.
Don't look at it and say, "Oh, this is like something I don't
Peanuts.
like."
Tastes
Try
like
it.
peanuts, kind of.
Yeah, they taste like peanuts.
Okay.
They're good.
Well, this looks like something I don't like.
Here's what's
Yeah,
good
exactly.
about it.
Got it wrong?
The ingredients are just peas, oil, salt, garlic, seasoning, a little bit of coloring.
Disgusting.
But,
No, these taste like the bits and trail mix, and I never know what the hell they are.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the little
But-
corn nuts.
Is that what they are? Okay.
I think so.
What do you think, Eric?
Oh no, I should try a fourth bag.
Jesus, Michael.
Oh, shut up.
Are they good?
Good comeback.
Seriously, these are look how small these are compared
the
to
bag
me.
is teensy
this
tiny.
This is the size of two of my front teeth.
Can I say I don't hate them necessarily, but I
Yeah?
don't feel like I want to eat more.
Oh really?
It's kind of got a, I don't know, it's odd.
One more bag, I think.
Take your eyes off right now. You're like, have it open.
You want me to
Okay.
open my face?
Yeah, open
your
face.
You open your face. Tell me to open my
If we told you these came from Burger King, you'd be like, these are pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you have ketchup?
Exactly.
You put ketchup on them. I'm sure those taste great.
You're just a giant toddler. Look at
By
you.
the way, you know those the new fast food ketchups that look like a ketchup bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Do those work for you? They don't work for. I can't get them open.
No, they work for
You're
me.
opening them wrong. You open them up the other way so you can dip your fries in
There's
them.
2 ways to open.
Well, why? But I thought you were supposed to do it on the top of the bottle. It
That's
looks
to
like a little.
squeeze
no.
out. That's to squeeze it out. If you want to use it as a dipping tray, you open it the other
Well,
side.
I try to get it like a bottle thing. I can't get it open.
Oh, that's the squeezy type.
And I look like a moron.
One more, I think.
You have mine.
These are delicious.
I ain't gonna finish these.
Do you
Oh,
like
you
it?
ain't
You don't
gonna
like
finish
them?
them?
I don't hate them.
What do they taste like to you when you?
They taste like something a bird would eat. You know, like bird seed or something. Not that I know what bird seed
Birdseed's
tastes like.
delicious.
Did you eat bird seed as a kid?
no.
I could see you doing that.
This
Oh,
does
look at
taste
that.
like bird seed. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
You ever have
So-
a bird? Anybody ever have a bird as a pet?
Yeah.
No,
Did
if
you?
you did, you suck.
I did.
Ugh, this
When-
stinky bird.
I never understood. No, I know. It'd be gross to have one. I never. I thought they were just like rats with wings or something, with no personality. But last time I was down in Florida, my mother-in-law was bird sitting for a friend, and it was a parrot. And you all right?
I'm choking on peas. These are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
And you know what I found?
What up?
Is that I went up to the cage and I started, and the bird started responding to me.
Yeah.
Which amazed me. Now again,
Obamacare.
I don't think- then-
Obamacare.
yeah,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
You can read minds.
Then it but then it wouldn't shut up, and that got annoying.
Yeah.
But
Like in the morning, they quack, quack.
the weird thing is,
Terrible.
though, you just put the cover on the cage and they go to sleep.
I think it's nighttime.
Bizarre. This thing's going. "Rah, rah, rah, rah." And you put the thing on, it's gone.
Yep.
But I thought that they'd be one of those pets, like a lizard or something, that would have no response to you as a person. But I was going up, tapping the cage. It was coming over. It was
Yeah.
going back and forth. It was
Did it
Plotting to
speak?
kill you the whole
no,
time.
no. I don't know. I think it was a parrot, but it didn't speak.
Oh, we had a.
No. You know what? It was a parakeet.
Oh, okay.
Not a parrot.
I grew up with a parakeet, and then we had
Put these
a
in your purse.
we had a cockatiel that we taught to say things, and it would like when it heard the bus go by our house. Oh yeah.
Eat them.
You need a new spot. You need
These
to
are delicious.
really
How do you pronounce that?
edamame.
Bonjour, gumper. I can tell you how to say
Garlic green peas.
delicious in Chinese.
How do you say delicious?
Honshur.
Honshur.
You have to go like
How
honshur.
do they do it?
And on that note, this guy's got a show to get to.
Bye.
Michael Albanese.
The dregs of showbiz.
Off to show business. I told you he's the president of show business. Man,
Off
there's
to
a lot
do
of.
an open microphone.
Oh, anybody can jump
I
up
run
there,
it
huh?
every Wednesday night at the Improv in Buckhead here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Come see the best, sometimes the worst.
And if you want a spot, make sure you call and ask 20 minutes before it goes.
Yeah. Michael
Last
really
minute if
appreciates
possible.
that. If you're just passing through, just stop in.
I love you all.
Michael
Bye,
Albanese,
Mike.
president of show business, ladies and gentlemen. There he goes, former drummer for Forever No, Forever what? What is it?
Bye.
Bye bye.
Well, let me finish really quick. So, it was the bird. His name is Malcolm, and he would say, "Hello, buddy," and he said, I think he said like, "How are you?" or something,
Right.
and he would whistle in this very specific whistle when the bus would go by.
Yes.
Oh boy.
I'll catch you tomorrow, buddy.
Sorry. Anyway, so the
Can you just at least hear? Just put it over. Never mind. The cameras and all that.
the bus. Anyway, I'm sorry. This story's terrible now.
No, it's not. It's not
Too many
terrible.
times.
It's not.
So
Okay.
he whistles.
Dr. X, could you just pocket that for me, please?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead. So your story.
No, it's all right. The
Fucked that up, didn't
No, it's all right.
because the bird would respond, right? So even after years after me not riding the bus to school anymore, the bird would still whistle and get really excited when the bus would drive by, even though I
Oh.
didn't live there anymore.
So they're
'Cause
not
I
very
would have-
smart.
Well, they're still animals. Yeah. But
So it
was
turns
great.
out, and I'm watching something last night or something, and I always knew this. I knew that parrots weren't actually saying things. They don't have a voice box. They're not speaking. They're mimicking. I always knew
Yeah.
that. They're just mimicking the sounds they hear. But apparently, it's all a whistle. It's down here in their throat somewhere, and there's a little thing, and everything that they're doing that sounds like "Hey, buddy" or whatever, it's all whistling in different tones, and they're just using their whistle to mimic the words that they hear you say a lot around them or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I think
what
birds
is
are
it?
assholes.
Huh?
Birds are just assholes.
think they
period.
are?
They're always plotting to kill you. One bit my finger. One of my friends, Kevin, had one when I was about 8 years old.
All right, so
He
you never
bit
got
my
over it.
finger. No, that stupid damn bird that almost took my finger off.
really,
Yeah,
Well, what were you doing to it?
I was sticking my finger through the holes in the cage.
There you go. They were like, "Get the fuck out of my
Yeah.
cage."
So I think that at that point, the bird was smarter than the 8-year-old.
Well, perhaps, but I mean, I still don't think they have any emotions.
You know,
What about
Dr. X
crows?
was a badass. You know that when he was growing up, he was a badass. He was like a gang
softy.
leader.
Softy.
He was like a gang
That's
leader.
where he got that
He had
handkerchief.
Did you or did you not have people that you referred to as your crew at one point?
No, we didn't have a crew. It was more of a posse.
It's more of a
Okay.
clan.
Okay, it was a posse.
But no, I
You ever break into houses or anything?
Uh-oh.
let me
That's
count.
a
Let me
yes.
count the statute of limitations.
That was a yes.
Yeah, yes, I did.
What's the most valuable thing you ever stole?
Like a
Someone's
CD player
virginity.
boombox. Thank you. A CD
Someone's
player
virginity.
boombox type scenario.
Yeah, and
I
then-
felt really bad. I
Did
still
you
feel
use
bad
it or
about
did you sell it?
We sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sold it all to redneck. See, I went to high school in not really the ghetto, but it was bad high school. Osborne High School over
Right.
there in Cobb County.
In Smyrna?
Yes.
You
right,
and
right.
Church Chick.
Yeah. And then we would take all the gear that we got and we took it out to the rednecks out in Paulding County and sold it
Right.
to them. Because to them, it's a freaking CD player. It's 2004.
Holy
Where did you
cow.
get this?
This is like Future Shock.
Yes.
So you were a bit of a badass. Yeah,
I was a softie.
you're a bad boy.
I had hard friends.
Yeah.
I was very clever at
Right.
manipulating the people around me to do my bidding.
But I mean,
And not kick my ass.
it's fair to say that the person that Dr. X is today is very different from the person
Yes.
then, as far as
Yes.
world outlook and maybe a little more melanist. When you
Yeah.
think you're
Yeah.
not, yeah, okay, it's good. I think that's wonderful. It's progress. I mean, you're only 60. You got a
Well,
lot of time left. Didn't
According
take
to you,
long.
I'm still an angry drunk. But
Well, that's the last impression you make on somebody. I don't know.
Well, that's why you have friends, right?
Yes.
So that,
Right.
yeah, even if you mess up or do something crazy, hopefully your friends still
after
love
the
you.
Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Fest, we
Yeah.
went to 2 more concerts after that. So I
Yeah.
kept drinking until about 2 a.m. And I was hanging out with people who were younger than me because I was at an EDM
Yeah.
concert, dubstep type music.
Yeah.
They're
Get
20
used to that, by the way.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
gonna start
yeah.
happening more often. The people are younger than
they're
you.
all 25-ish. I'm 28.
Right.
And I fell asleep in the middle of the floor, and while people were partying around me, just stepping over me, and it was that moment of like, God damn, I'm old.
Yeah, I almost only fell asleep once at a concert, and it wasn't Bob Dylan's fault. It was this great week. It was this great week of shows in Los Angeles at the El Rey Theater. He played for a week, and every night he had different people. One night he had Willie Nelson open for him. One night he had Beck open for him. Me and my buddy went on a Wednesday, and Jewel opened for him.
Oh, God.
And let me tell you something. That was the most boring. I mean, Ringo Starr was sitting behind me, and that wasn't enough to keep me awake. At one point, I actually was experimenting. I was so bored, but there were a lot of people on the floor. I was on the floor at the El Rey, and a lot of people were on the floor, and I thought, as an experiment, I want to see if I can just fall asleep and not fall down, because there's so many people around me, they
Like a
might
horse.
actually hold me up. But then I realized, well, they're watching the same show I am, so they could fall asleep as well, and then we'd all go down like dominoes. So I didn't actually fall asleep. But this was when Jewel wasn't too far after her big, this is when
She was
had
still
that-
living in the car?
No, it was right after that. It was when
After
she was
that.
famous for that one song, what the video where she's in the bathroom.
Something about Save Your Soul.
Save
or
you.
something.
Who's gonna? Is it, yeah. So that was still going on. We were only like a year or so away from that. So she was still pretty famous. And this was the top of her career. If you wonder why she went away, I mean, it was so bad. So she's doing maybe a 45-minute set, and she does the novelty I can yodel thing. Really?
no.
She can yodel.
Me and Ringo came to see Bob Dylan, honey. You're performing in front of Bob Dylan and Ringo Starr, and you're yodeling for 8 minutes. I mean, at one point it got so bad, like a comedian who's bombing, she was like saying things to the crowd.
Oh, no.
Like, well, I'll be out of here pretty soon or whatever. It's like, oh, way to
She
give
was
up.
giving up, yeah.
With
But
your
who's the,
snaggle
who is
tooth.
the promoter that put Jewel in front of
Well,
Bob
she
Dylan?
was
That's
big.
terrible.
Maybe
She
Bob
was-
Dylan was a fan.
No,
you
she
know?
was big. She was big, and they, like I said, it was like a cool bunch of people who were going to be there, and I just got the wrong night. Like the night before was Beck, and the night before that was Willie Nelson.
Awesome.
I get
Those
Jewel.
both sound great.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Bummer.
much. But it was cool. There was one point in that show where I was standing in the middle of the floor, and Bob Dylan goes, "Hey, say hello to Ringo Starr out there," and everybody turns around, and he's like right there. I thought, I'm equidistant between Bob Dylan and Ringo Starr. And then I looked over to my left, and the lead singer of Men at Work was standing next to me.
What the hell?
Holy!
What a night.
And then the lead singer from Men at Work, was walking around, and he couldn't remember where his car was, so he was like walking around trying to beep his
Booping,
car.
Yeah.
I'm like,
They're just like
How
us.
the mighty have fallen.
Stars are just like us.
I was like, shouldn't you be backstage or something? You're
Yeah.
just like me in the parking
He
garage.
wants to go home.
Yeah.
He has to work in the
lost.
morning. He's a man at work.
He's an awesome guy, dude. No, I met him. Were you there when he came to the regular guys that time?
No, I
Awesome
don't think
dude.
so.
No, he and the guy from Smithereens were touring together, and they both came in, used the same acoustic guitar, and they both were awesome. But anyways, that's a rat hole to go down in. Anyway, he's a wonderful guy. If you ever wondered, hey, do you know what I learned by listening to the morning show with EVH? The lead singer of Men at Work is a nice guy, and the Smithereens dude to boot. You always learn something.
That's right.
My years of experience. I am a raconteur. Let me tell you about the time that me and the lead singer from Men at Work hung out with Bob Dylan and Ringo Starr. Except none of us spoke to each other.
Well, you know who else?
You ever have that, before you go on, you ever have that feeling when you're in, like, the first time I saw Paul McCartney, I'm a huge Beatles fan. First time I saw Paul McCartney was in Cleveland, which was a real letdown. We were at the Cleveland Stadium at that time where the Browns played and the Indians played at that time in the early 90s. And it was a real letdown because all my life I always heard about Cleveland is the home of rock and roll. That's why they've got the
Cleveland
Rock and Roll Museum. They're about rock and roll. They've had the best rock and roll station in rock and roll history every time. We're the best. Cleveland equals rock and roll. I'm in a stadium. Paul McCartney, he was in the Beatles. And I love the Beatles. And I've never been in a place where a Beatle is. Paul McCartney walks out on stage. I stand up, and within 30 seconds I hear, "Down in front!"
Oh, so sad.
And I turned around and I said, have you not noticed that there's a Beatle on stage? This is new for me. It may happen to you every day. But I had this thought. I thought this is how much of a Beatle dick sucker I am.
Here's the name.
So I love the Beatles so much that when so he's standing there singing the first song, and I thought to myself, wow, if somebody detonated a bomb in here, me and Paul McCartney would die in the same building. Isn't that awesome?
I think about that all the time. When like big groups are together, I'm like, it could happen.
Yeah.
I could be a part of this.
Mm-hmm. My name would be, or like when you do things like when you go on media things, like we used to go with the old show. We'd go to like the Braves training camp. We'd go down to Florida or something for a week or whatever. And you get on the plane, and there's like you and the guy from the AJC, and then the sports guy from Fox 5 or whatever. And as you're on the plane, you think to yourself, okay, if this plane goes down, whose name's going to be up there first? Like,
Right.
am I going to be above the guy
Yeah.
from? Is it going to be Buck Lanford above me, or am I going to be above him, or how is this going to play out?
The day
when this,
Atlanta media died.
yes, it'll be a Buddy Holly incident all over again. Who got best billing on that one? Buddy Holly.
Yeah, that's right.
Then Richie Valens.
Yeah. Big Bopper.
But the Big Bopper.
Yeah.
He's always third.
Yep.
He's always mentioned third. And I got a feeling in any one of those situations, I'm going to be the guy bringing up the rear. And shock jock, Eric Von Hessler.
Right. Right.
Well, Big Bopper, he was kind of arrogant already throughout
Yeah.
his life. He called himself the
Hey,
Big Bopper.
Well,
Not only was he a bopper, he was big.
Yeah, he was a total novelty act, though. You know, the guy was a radio DJ, I believe.
Is that right?
Yeah, and he had a novelty song with that chantilly lace, and it was
The worst.
that whole. That's a cool song.
Ah.
And a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down with a wiggle in a walk
I
and
guess.
a giggle in a talk. Ooh, that's what I like. Come on, what's wrong with that? As a novelty song, it's better than Guitar Zan.
Well, that's true. I'm not going to argue that.
So, yeah, so he was just so that Big Bopper thing was like, that was his like DJ thing, I think. It was like Rick Dees. When I lived in Memphis,
Okay.
he put out Disco Duck, and it was huge. He was my morning show guy, and he had a huge hit.
Disco,
Boy, did it go to his
Duck.
head. And then he left that station, he left WHBQ and went to WMMS, and then he put out Disco-Rilla, and that was just one too many. You probably never heard
I had
Disco-Rilla.
never heard that
A lot of people
Disco-Rilla.
don't realize that Disco Duck.
I feel like it's the same thing as Disco Duck.
It
Disco,
is.
Disco, Rilla.
It's Disco-Rilla. Yeah, you can't keep on going back there.
Yeah.
But I met Rick Dees 30 years later, and he still looked like he was 23. Best face work I've ever seen in my life. It was unbelievable. Anyways, give me some of that music. Well, you're going like this. Give me some music. Oh, you want to read it?
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge some of the people that have
Let's
been
do that.
that have been rating us, and
We're doing quite well. We got a solid 5, don't we?
Yeah, we have we have 91 ratings, and they're all 5 stars. Oh, on
cool.
iTunes, and
Yes.
we really appreciate it.
We do.
Yeah, some people that have been leaving their reviews. Malachi2423, how do I shoot this? People, yeah, we just really appreciate it. They say lots of nice things.
Yeah, I know, and we are overwhelmed with that.
Yes.
And that's what we do it for, you know?
Yes.
I mean, we're not here doing this for ourselves. I mean, I believe in good shows like this. This is what I wanted the last show to be more like. I know it couldn't be just like this, but I wanted more of this in that show.
Sure.
And they just came back to me and said, no, we want to do, well, you know what worked in Nashville?
Yeah. That's radio.
I think we're going to take your legacy show, and I'm going to walk in here from, Market 472.
Right.
And basically treat you like you're a stand-up comedian that was added to the show 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
not
shame.
bitter. I'm not bitter.
That's an old way.
I lost that because I wanted the old show to be more like this, more
Right.
conversational and less BS and less of, the other guy pretending things happened to him that never did. But I'm over that. Can't you tell? I'm over that. And people are great, and I'm glad people are responding to the show. And
Yes, thank
I'll
you
tell you
so
something,
much.
I love doing this show. And the last show, I used to love doing it, but there was always a thing in my stomach because I
Till
didn't.
about 8 a.m.
Well, I know, but I mean, it was, what is the other guy going to say, and where am I going to get dragged, and what about black people am I going to be saddled with today because he won't stop being an
Right.
idiot? And I just love this. I look forward to every one of these shows, and I'm glad that people are enjoying them. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Autumn Fisher.
Yes, sir.
How can folks find you on the nets and the inters and the interwebs and the web thing and all that stuff?
Yeah, you can find me on all those places at Autopritz, Pritts.
You make it easy.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Michael Albanese keeps saying he's going to be Aurora Theater,
Yep,
Lawrenceville?
he's going to be at the Aurora Theater in Lawrenceville, March 20-something.
Yeah.
I think the 21st and the
it up.
20-something.
What's his website called? I'm
in
a
my
big
own,
dope.
In my own head.
I'm a big dope.com, something like that.
And I think he's on Twitter and Facebook at
I think it
Big
was
Man Mike.
Suckmydick.org, right?
Stop
Suckmydick.org.
stepping all over my mic plug.
Yes, I know. We're just tearing you up. So,
Poor Mike.
InMyOwnHead.com is
What
his
do we
major
call
hub.
him? I call him Mike, Michael. Some
I call
people
him
call him
Michael.
Albanese.
I always call him Michael.
Yeah. I don't wonder what he prefers.
I think it's Michael. He puts Michael out there. So.
Yeah.
My oldest brother was named Michael, and we lost him early. So Michael's
I wanna
my
call him
new
Mike.
oldest brother,
Aw.
even though he's 20 years younger than me. Anyway, we have had a blast.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. That was The Morning Show with EVH. We will see you, the next time we see you. Bye. Dun, 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 dun.